guys, today I'm gonna read this bedtime book for you guys. Goodnight, Peppa. Once upon a time, Granny and Grandpa Pig came round for dinner. It was almost time for Peppa and George to go to bed. Yawns, yawned Daddy Pig very loudly while they were eating. He. Everybody jiggled, ho, sorry, snored Daddy Pig. I am a little tired. Peppa and George weren't tired at all. Can we jump in the puddles for just a tiny bit? Asked Peppa. Please. Okay, said Daddy Pig, but you must come in at bedtime. Peppa and George loved jumping in muddy puddles. They jumped up and down until they were covered in mud. Peppa, George called Daddy Pig, you must be feeling sleepy after all that jumping. Let's get you in the bath. But Daddy, we are not even a little bit sleepy, replied Peppa. Peppa and George splashed in the bath until they were both nice and clean. I think bath time is over, said Daddy Pig, dribbling wet. You must be tired all of that splashing. We are not even a little bit tired, cried Peppa, splashing Daddy Pig again. Snore, laughed George. Daddy Pig was snorked. Peppa and George were finally ready for bed. They said good night to Mommy and Daddy Pig and found Granny in their bedroom. Come on, little ones, said Granny Pig. It's bedtime. Hop in. I can't go to bed without Teddy, said Peppa. Dinosaur, stopped George. So Granny Pig found Teddy and Mr. Dinosaur and tucked everybody in. Good night, Peppa and Teddy, said Granny Pig. Good night, George and Mr. Dinosaur. We are not even the tiniest bit sleepy, Granny, said Peppa. I see, said Granny Pig. I wonder what will make you sleepy. Can you tell us a bedtime story? Asked Peppa. Of course, Peppa, replied Granny Pig. As long as you promise to go to sleep as soon as the story ends. We promise, cheered Peppa. Peppa and George loved bedtime stories. Granny Pig began telling a story. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful prince called Peppa. Interrupt Peppa. Yes, said Granny Pig. And Sir George, the brave king, Peppa. Again, he jiggled George. Granny Pig cheered on. Prince Peppa and Sir George lived in a castle. A great big castle in the sky, said Peppa. Granny Pig tried to finish the story, Princess Peppa and Sir George had been playing all day in the castle, were very tired. Then the king arrived, cheered Peppa and a cook and a wizard and a scary dinosaur, dragon dinosaur. Then saw added George. Grrr. And the cook made them a gay prince with sandwich, cake, jelly. Peppa listed all the food she could think of. Grandpa Pig came to find Granny Pig. I am telling Peppa and George a bedtime story, explained Granny Pig. And we promise to go to sleep when the story ends, added Peppa. I see, said Grandpa Pig. Granny Pig, why don't you leave this to me? I am good at ending stories. So Granny Pig said good night and went downstairs. Grandpa Pig did his best to end the story. After they ate, the lovely prince everybody fall asleep the end. But Peppa did not want the story to end. Then they all woke up and their friends arrived and cheered, and they went for a ride in Prince Peppa's carriage and delighted to have a great big party. Soon Daddy Pig came upstairs. I am the expert at telling bedtime stories, he said. Then he whispered quietly to Grandpa Pig, I will have them asleep in no time. So Grandpa Pig said good night and went downstairs. Prince Peppa and Sir George weren't about to have a great big party, Peppa told Daddy Pig. I see, he replied. Toot, toot, toot. Mommy Pig heard banging, so she came upstairs to Peppa, George and Daddy Pig were dancing, were having a party like in the story, explained Peppa. They're almost asleep, said Daddy Pig. Thank you, Daddy, said Mommy Pig. I will take over now. So Daddy Pig said good night and went downstairs. Mommy Pig tucked Peppa and George back into bed. Then she asked Peppa to tell the whole bedtime story from the beginning, very quietly. Once upon a time, whispered Peppa, yawning, there was a beautiful princess called Peppa. She lived with Sir George, the brave king, in the brave knight in the great big castle in the yawn sky. Speaking softly was making Peppa really sleepy. Peppa tried to finish the story, but she couldn't keep her eyes open soon. George fell asleep, fast asleep, and so did Peppa. Mommy Pig looked at her two little ones, smiled, and whispered, "Good night, George. down. Then Goodnight Peppa. Then she head downstairs to find Granny, Grandpa, and Daddy Pig. Snore, snore, snore. They were all fast asleep. It was bedtime for Peppa and George, and it was bedtime for everyone else too. Good night, said Mommy Pig.